If you're a passionate member of the COD Zombies community and you're watching this video, chances are me and you had a similar reaction to Dr. Toten's outro cutscene, which served as the official ending to the Ether storyline. The storyline many of us grew up with. The storyline that has given us so many beautiful moments. It all ends here. So, to say the least, a lot was riding on Tog's ending. A lot of anticipation was had. Then the outro cutscene was released publicly after the Easter egg was initially solved. And everyone hated it, including yours truly. Where was the climactic boss of Dr. Monty? Where was the trip to Agartha? Where was our character's last hurrah? Their last victory? Where was the Great War? You mean to tell me instead of getting any of that, Victus gets pushed to the curb and our characters are poisoned and die in their sleep? To say the least, the outro cutscene was largely anticlimactic, well, at least for the time. And if you would have told me when I first saw it that 8 months later I'd be making a video defending it, I'd say you saw some other incredibly good-looking COD Zombies nerd who had a garbage opinion. Well, here I am. So half of you are saying, go on, explain why this ending works so perfectly, while the other half are saying, how can you defend such a disgrace to this beloved storyline? And then there are those of you who don't care, which in that case, that's fair. Well, whoever you are, I won't waste any more of your time, and I'm going to start my reasoning as to why the COD Zombies ending works. So it wouldn't be that big of a stretch to say that the COD Zombies storyline is completely bonkers, right? I mean, if a story that revolves on an intergalactic species splitting apart due to a corrupt dimension that causes a civil war results in a space rock flying to Earth that's used to fuel Nazi weaponry and teleportation while accidentally being used in the future to cause time travel and raise the dead, then, yeah, I find that completely justifiable. And with that story comes action. A lot of it. Which ranges from dragons, robots, Apothicon Overlords, see what I did there, etc. And the four characters have to deal with this mess, aside from a few other unfortunate groups, is a fragile alliance comprised of Tank Dempsey, Nikolai Belinsky, Takeo Masaki, and Edward Richtofen. And while these guys may act as one-dimensional tough guys, they are deeply human. They have doubts, fears, and sometimes it's easy to forget that at the end of the day, these guys just want to fix the universe and go home. Sure, this interdimensional battle against zombies and an alien species might be fun at times, but this journey is one that torments and breaks our characters. This unfortunate group of people suffer losses to their humanity and spirit, prime examples being the actual cutscenes to Dreisenjaha, Zetsubo, Golod, and of course the entirety of Blood of the Dead. When you really think about it, what is it that these characters want? Not just the premise group, but everyone. All of the side groups just want to survive, as I can tell. Dr. Monty wants to live in a dimension completely absent of any chaos. Even the Apothicons just want to return to the home they were kicked out of. Everyone wants peace, and our main characters are no exception. Having gone through the most chaos out of anyone, they just want to return to their old lives, a world before all of this. For the most part, Black Ops 3 handled this pretty well, but Rev, I'm toying with the idea of dedicating an entire video as to why that map doesn't work, but that's a discussion for another day. Then we have Black Ops 4, which is heavily criticized for its polarizing gameplay changes, but complimented for its Ether story segments, and rightfully so. Most of the maps dedicated to the Ether story have a point to them. Blood was to serve as the missing half to Mob, and Alpha Omega in terms of campiness, simpleness, and character selection was meant to serve as one last goofy, fun time with the boys before the last map took things more seriously. And Classified, yeah, that's just something that exists. Then we get to TOG. What was TOG's purpose, huh? What did it stand for? Well, after thinking about it for a while, Dr. Toten stood for peace. Think about it. Everything from the laid-back intro and the calming scenery really hammers in the fact that Tog wasn't trying to be a chaotic end. On the contrary, it's trying to be a peaceful one. Look at the characters we play as. Instead of playing as the group full of serious, compelling characters, we're playing as a group of goofballs who feel like old friends due to them being MIA for a while. Even the Easter egg isn't something mind-blowing or insane. For the most part, it's just a convoluted fetch quest, really reminiscent of the earlier Easter eggs featured in BO1 Zombies. The only chaotic segment of the map is the final rush at the end of the Easter egg, but even then it has a peaceful vibe. I still love the fact that instead of having some kind of alien or creature as the final thing you face in COD Zombies, the final battle is against a huge wave of Nazi zombies. The same thing that you faced at the beginning of the series is the final obstacle of said series. When the map first released, I made the initial mistake of assuming it had no sense of finality in it, but in actuality it does, just not the kind of finality I'm used to. Instead of ending off in a chaotic sense, TOG ends on a peaceful sense, which in a strange way works even better since it's ending a story all about chaos. Now we're at the outro cutscene. In the outro cutscene, Nikolai gives a realistic, brutal explanation as to why the climactic battle we were all anticipating was never going to happen. Because of all of the shenanigans that characters have found themselves in, the cycle was able to continue. So in order for the cycle to end, they have to end as well. All while this is happening, Damned, the iconic COD Zombies theme is playing one final time. And then...
we should not be here. Our time has passed.
We see the carnage. 11 years of memories dead in front of your eyes. It's saddening, it's brutal, but it's real. And when you think about it, it's beautifully tragic. These characters you've seen suffer from endless battles die sitting around a campfire sharing a laugh with their friends. It was never possible to escape the journey they found themselves stuck in, but in the end, they were able to find peace. And instead of a battle, the story ends with Samantha and Eddie, two innocent kids who had nothing to do with the fighting, get their peace. It's so fitting this is all attached to a game series all about warfare, because it perfectly reflects the pattern of real warfare. You have all these sides fighting for peace, and while each of these sides may have good intentions, the war that follows does nothing but needlessly take innocent lives. That's the reality of COD Zombies. There's no villain, it's just different sides needlessly fighting until they create a mess so big, one person who's the only character who's had their life completely ruined by warfare, wakes up and be's the bigger person. And thus he sacrifices everyone, including himself and his allies, making a sacrifice for the greater good of the universe. And in the end, everyone who fought for what they thought was the right thing ends up having gained nothing from their endeavor but destruction and loss. That's the tragedy of Talk's ending. But the fact that at least all of this was worth it for someone makes the ending of COD Zombies bittersweet. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with everything I said? Be sure to comment your thoughts down below. There should be a new video up this Friday, so stay tuned for that. As always, if you like this video, show it physically by smashing that like button. It helps all of us more than you know. And consider subscribing. If you do, then me and everyone here at Apothicon Overlords will be extremely grateful of your support. With that said, I will see you guys next time. Peace out, everyone.